In a high-profile live TV debate show, two prominent politicians, Karoline Leavitt and Ilhan Omar, are set to face off. The show is known for discussing controversial issues, and the tension is palpable as the two women prepare to share their opinions on air. Karoline and Ilhan are both strong-willed and passionate about their views, making this debate one to watch. Each of them is determined to win over the audience and make their stance clear. The stakes are high because the debate will be broadcast to a national audience, and both women want to come out on top, gaining public support for their political positions. As the debate begins, Karoline listens carefully to Ilhan's opening statements. Ilhan takes a bold stance on a hot-button issue, making claims that she believes will appeal to the viewers. Karoline remains calm, but she's ready to respond, knowing this is her chance to challenge Ilhan's arguments. The studio audience watches in anticipation, sensing that this is going to be an intense face-off. Karoline and Ilhan both have their own strong following, and the audience is eager to see which politician can come out as the more convincing speaker. The stage is set for a battle of ideas, with each woman determined to outdo the other. The pressure is on, and the outcome of this live TV debate could shape public opinion and influence the future of both women's political careers. As the debate heats up, it becomes clear that only one will be able to claim victory in this high-stakes clash. As the debate begins, Ilhan Omar confidently steps forward, ready to make her opening statement. With a calm but assertive tone, she addresses the issue of immigration, calling for more lenient policies and a path to citizenship for undocumented immigrants. She argues that the United States should open its doors to people in need and that a fair and just immigration system is crucial for the country's growth. Ilhan's words are powerful, and she passionately defends her position. She knows that this is a hot-button issue, one that will likely stir strong emotions among conservative viewers. As she speaks, the audience can feel the tension building. Her supporters cheer her on, but there is a noticeable silence from those who hold opposing views. Some of the conservative viewers watching at home may be already shaking their heads, while others wait to see how Karoline will respond. Karoline Leavitt, known for her sharp wit and logical arguments, listens intently to Ilhan's words. Her face remains calm and composed, showing no signs of being rattled. Karoline has always been skilled at staying calm under pressure, and this moment is no different. She knows that the key to winning this debate is not just about what she says, but how she says it. As Ilhan finishes her statement, Karoline takes a deep breath. She is fully prepared for the clash ahead. She has done her homework, carefully researching the issue and gathering statistics that support her own stance. Karoline believes that while the United States should be compassionate, the country also needs to prioritize its own citizens and ensure that immigration policies are fair, secure, and beneficial for all. The host of the debate, who has been carefully monitoring the conversation, opens the floor to Karoline. As the camera shifts to her, the audience falls silent, waiting for her to respond. Karoline stands up, poised and confident, ready to take on the challenge. She starts by acknowledging Ilhan's concerns, but she immediately begins to counter her arguments with logic and reasoning. Karoline points out the strain that unchecked immigration can put on the economy, healthcare system, and job market. She stresses the importance of border security and the need for comprehensive reform that doesn't just prioritize one group over others. As she speaks, her voice is steady and filled with conviction. She challenges Ilhan's idealistic vision by presenting real-world data, highlighting instances where lenient immigration policies have led to issues such as overcrowded schools, rising crime rates, and overburdened social services. The audience, which had been initially supportive of Ilhan's bold statements, now watches Karoline with growing interest. Some in the crowd nod in agreement, while others look skeptical, but no one can deny the force of Karoline's arguments. The room is charged with energy as the two women stand on opposite sides of the issue. In this moment, the debate becomes more than just a conversation about policy, it is a battle of ideologies. The conservative viewers, who had initially felt uneasy about Ilhan's stance, are now eagerly waiting to see if Karoline can truly challenge her. The stakes have risen. This is no longer just a debate, it's a high-stakes showdown between two powerful women, each determined to defend her beliefs and win over the audience. Karoline Leavitt steps up to the microphone, her expression calm but determined. The studio audience watches intently, sensing that this is where the debate will truly heat up. She begins her response to Ilhan Omar's bold statement about immigration, but Karoline doesn't just repeat her own opinions. Instead, she uses powerful facts and statistics to back up her points, making her case with clear, logical reasoning. While I understand the compassion behind your stance, Ilhan, Karoline begins, we must remember that policies have real consequences. The United States has always been a beacon of hope for immigrants, but it is also important to protect our own citizens and ensure our system is fair and secure for everyone. She pauses for effect, then continues. Karoline starts with facts. Recent studies show that in areas where immigration policies are more lenient, we've seen an increase in overcrowded schools and healthcare systems struggling to keep up. For example, in certain regions of the country, school budgets have been stretched thin due to the influx of non-resident students, many of whom require additional services. She watches as the audience nods in agreement, some of them beginning to shift in their seats. Karoline isn't just speaking from her own beliefs, she's speaking from hard data, and the audience can see that. Next, she moves on to real-world examples that show the impact of lenient immigration policies. We've seen examples in cities like San Francisco and New York, where illegal immigration has caused serious problems in terms of job security for local workers, strained public resources, and increased crime rates. This is not just an ideological issue, these are real-world consequences that we cannot ignore. As Karoline speaks, her tone remains steady and fierce, not angry but passionate. She knows that her arguments are solid, and she uses her experience in politics to drive home her point. I have worked alongside lawmakers who have seen the effects of open border policies firsthand, and they will tell you, immigration needs to be controlled and properly managed. The U.S. needs reform, but it must be measured and balanced to ensure it benefits everyone, not just one group. Her words hit home, and the audience is beginning to feel the weight of her argument. Karoline continues, shifting to the economic side of the debate. When we talk about economic fairness, we must also consider how open borders can affect wages for American workers. There are many families who are struggling to make ends meet, and allowing unchecked immigration can drive down wages, leaving our citizens at a disadvantage. Karoline's delivery is sharp, each sentence carefully crafted to expose the flaws in Ilhan Omar's argument. She is articulate, confident, and well-prepared. As she speaks, the applause from the audience grows louder, with many cheering her on. Karoline has completely taken control of the debate, and Ilhan Omar, though trying to maintain her composure, looks visibly frustrated. Her eyes narrow and her posture stiffens, clearly not expecting such a powerful counterattack. Karoline finishes with a final point, her voice unwavering. Compassion is important, but we cannot allow our compassion to blind us to the practical realities of governance. We need policies that protect the American people first while still offering a fair path to immigration. That's what I believe in, and that's what I'll fight for. As she steps back, Karoline's argument hangs in the air, powerful and undeniable. The audience erupts into applause, and Ilhan Omar's frustration is evident as she realizes Karoline has outmaneuvered her. The balance of the debate has shifted, and it's clear that Karoline's response has left a lasting impact on everyone in the room. The tension in the studio is thick as Ilhan Omar tries to regain control of the debate. Her eyes narrow and she leans forward, ready to respond to Karoline Leavitt's powerful counterattack. For a moment, it seems like she's gathering her thoughts, but as she begins to speak, it's clear that the pressure is getting to her. Karoline, your arguments are based on fear, not facts, Ilhan says, her voice shaking slightly as she tries to sound confident. We can't ignore the humanitarian crisis that so many immigrants face. The U.S. is built on the promise of freedom, and we cannot turn our backs on people in need. Her words come out quickly, but they seem to lack the same sharpness they had before. Ilhan's delivery starts to falter, and the audience can tell. She stumbles over her words, her thoughts coming too fast for her to keep up with. She tries to regain her footing, but her frustration is becoming more obvious. As Ilhan continues, her arguments become less coherent, and she begins to lose the crowd. She can feel the weight of Karoline's powerful points still hanging in the air, and it's clear that Ilhan is having trouble responding. The room feels tense as everyone watches her struggle to regain control. Seeing Ilhan's difficulty, Karoline doesn't rush to interrupt. Instead, she remains calm, watching carefully as Ilhan tries to gather herself. Karoline knows this is her moment. The audience is looking to see if she can finish what she started and deliver the final blow. When Ilhan finishes her point, Karoline steps in, her voice calm but forceful. She doesn't shout or raise her tone, but there's a clear confidence in her delivery. Ilhan, Karoline begins, I understand the compassion you feel, but compassion cannot guide every decision we make, especially when it comes to something as serious as immigration policy. She continues, the facts are simple. Unchecked immigration strains public resources, puts American workers at a disadvantage and creates chaos at our borders. And while you speak of humanitarianism, you fail to acknowledge the very real consequences of your stance on American citizens. These are issues that need solutions, not idealistic promises. Karoline pauses for a moment, letting her words sink in. She speaks with the certainty of someone who has carefully researched the issue and understands its complexities. I don't speak from a place of fear, I speak from experience and facts. There are communities across the country that are struggling with the effects of mass immigration, and it's crucial we address this issue with realistic solutions. The host, who had been silent during the exchange, watches in awe at how effortlessly Karoline dismantles Ilhan's argument. The audience is equally stunned by the calm, methodical way Karoline presents her points. There's no rush, no shouting, just a clear, reasoned response that leaves little room for rebuttal. Ilhan Omar's frustration is visible. She tries to respond, but her words lack the same confidence they had earlier. It's clear that Karoline has left her with no room to recover. The host looks between the two women, and the audience falls into stunned silence, realizing that the debate has taken a dramatic turn in Karoline's favor. As Karoline finishes her argument, the applause from the audience is thunderous. Ilhan, now visibly flustered, struggles to find a way to reply. But the moment has passed. The forcefulness of Karoline's argument has won the room over, and it's clear that she has come out on top in this showdown. As the debate comes to a close, the host, who has been watching the exchange closely, turns to address the audience. "What a powerful debate we've witnessed tonight," the host says, their voice filled with admiration. Karoline Leavitt's arguments were sharp, clear, and well-researched. Her ability to stay composed under pressure and dismantle her opponent's points with facts and logic is something to be admired. The camera shifts to Karoline, who stands tall, her expression calm but filled with quiet confidence. The audience erupts into applause, cheering for her strong performance. Karoline nods politely, acknowledging the praise, but she doesn't let the applause get to her head. She knows that this moment is about more than just winning the debate. It's about proving her point and making her voice heard on a national stage. Ilhan Omar, on the other hand, is visibly flustered. While she tries to maintain her composure, her face betrays her frustration. She glances at Karoline, but the words don't come easily. The look on Ilhan's face shows a mixture of disbelief and resentment. She knows that she has been out-argued, and she's struggling to find a way to recover from the powerful points Karoline made. Ilhan offers a small, tight smile, trying to salvage some dignity, but it's clear that the debate has not gone in her favor. She stands awkwardly, her hands gripping the sides of the podium as she searches for something to say. But the words never come, and instead she simply nods, acknowledging the end of the debate with a quiet sigh. The host looks between the two women, sensing the shift in the room. Karoline has won the debate, and it's clear that the audience is on her side. They've seen the clash of ideologies, and Karoline's well-reasoned arguments have come out on top. The host turns to the audience, who is still applauding, and says, "It's clear who took control of this debate tonight. Let's give another round of applause to both Karoline Leavitt and Ilhan Omar for their participation." As the applause continues, Karoline steps away from the podium and walks off the stage with her head held high. There's a sense of triumph in her stride, a quiet acknowledgement that she has proven herself in this high-stakes debate. She's confident in her stance, knowing that her arguments were strong and her delivery flawless. Meanwhile, Ilhan Omar stays behind, her shoulders slumped slightly, still processing the events of the debate. She watches Karoline leave the stage, her expression hardening. While she maintains her composure on the outside, inside there's a feeling of frustration. She knows she didn't perform well, and the sting of defeat is difficult to ignore. The resentment is clear in her eyes as she watches Karoline's confident exit. The camera captures the contrast between the two women, Karoline walking off the stage with a sense of triumph and Ilhan left to reflect on what went wrong. It's clear that this debate has left a lasting impact, with Karoline Leavitt emerging as the undeniable winner, and Ilhan Omar left with little more than a bitter taste of defeat. The aftermath of the debate quickly spreads across the media, with headlines flashing across news outlets and social media platforms. News stations are buzzing about Karoline Leavitt's remarkable performance, highlighting how she expertly dismantled Ilhan Omar's arguments. The story of Karoline's stunning takedown becomes the talk of the day, with political analysts and commentators praising her poise, intelligence, and ability to handle the pressure of a live TV debate. "Karoline Leavitt takes down Ilhan Omar in epic debate," reads one headline. Another article proclaims, "Leavitt's facts and logic leave Omar speechless." The media is filled with discussions of how Karoline's well-researched facts and clear reasoning won the audience over. Her calm, collected demeanor and fierce delivery have made a lasting impression on both the studio audience and viewers at home. On social media, Karoline Leavitt becomes a trending topic almost immediately. Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram are flooded with posts praising her for standing her ground and effectively countering Ilhan Omar's position. Clips from the debate go viral, with users sharing Karoline's best moments, especially the parts where she confidently exposed the flaws in Omar's arguments. Hashtags like hashtag Karoline Leavitt wins and hashtag Takedown of the year start trending as fans and political supporters alike express their admiration. Many political commentators and influencers online are quick to point out how Karoline's approach differed from Ilhan's. Leavitt didn't just argue, she educated the audience, one commentator tweets. It wasn't about ideology, it was about facts and real-world consequences. She owned that debate. Another tweet reads, Karoline Leavitt has emerged as a real force in politics. She knows her stuff and isn't afraid to call out others. As the debate footage continues to circulate, more and more people begin to see Karoline as a rising star in the political landscape. She gains not just supporters but respect from even her harshest critics. People who were once skeptical of her political views begin to acknowledge her skills as a debater and a public speaker. Her name is now on the lips of political pundits across the country, with many wondering what's next for her career. Meanwhile, Ilhan Omar's reaction to the debate is mixed. Some of her supporters defend her, claiming that she was outnumbered in the debate and that the media has painted her in a negative light. However, it's clear that the focus of the conversation has shifted. Karoline Leavitt's strong performance in the debate has stolen the spotlight, and she is now seen as a force to be reckoned with in the political arena. For Karoline, the debate marks a major turning point. It's clear that she has not only solidified her place as a respected figure in politics, but she's also proven that she's more than capable of handling the toughest opponents in a high-stakes public setting. Her victory in the debate has made her a household name, and there's no doubt that this is just the beginning of her rise in politics.